Okay, so this is another story that I'm reporting on about snowpack being located in the summer. Last week it was, I believe we've covered a spot in Minnesota. We've covered a spot in Wisconsin. Today we are looking at a spot here in New Hampshire, Tuckerman Ravine. Now, New Hampshire is typical. This area is known for snowpack lasting through August. Now, the typical snowpack at the bottom of this ravine is around 40 to 52 feet of snow. But they were showing numbers here too, the averages. The past snow season beginning last October into June, around 314 inches of snow was measured. That's 32.8 inches above seasonal average snowfall at that observatory. Snow in Tuckerman Ravine is deeper than official measurements at nearby MWOs since it lies at the bottom of the bowl-shaped area. That means snowpack not only consists of snow that falls, but also snow that deposited into the bowl by strong winds and avalanches. So yeah, they want to like downplay this naturally. Here is a person here doing some snowboarding on this lingering patch of what is dirty snow. The guy's wearing shorts, if that gives you an indication. It's not that cold, and it's probably not that safe for this either. Nevertheless, that's pretty big, large amount of snowpack still left in the ravine, and it's August 5th. And let's see, maybe next week I'll have another area of the United States that would be location number 4 that shows snowpack from this past winter. And guys, we're already in August. That's the scary part. We're 3/4 through the summer, and we're still finding snow in areas of the United States. And it feels like it's starting to get cool again in some areas. Rachel and Carlton follow us on Facebook. These two are doing some amazing work in the fungi field, I should say. Broken several records on vertically growing mushrooms and whatnot. But they wanted to report the hail that came in the Westmont area, Edmonton, this was on Friday, a few minutes ago. If our food is expected to survive this going forward, we need to have serious discussion about how we grow and who we rely on for nutrition. Baseball size to softball size hail from some folks in our very own community, very trustworthy folks. And just another example of the amplification of how intense this hail is, the snow, the rain, everything. Baseball size hail, not little ping pong balls here. Take a look at the infrared satellite here, folks, before we get into the GFS stuff. We do have a line of severe storms that's working its way through Green Bay and other parts of Wisconsin as we speak. Tomorrow, and I'll go ahead and show you this now. Tomorrow we'll be looking at our chance for severe weather as well here in the Northeast. This is the conditions right now according to GFS. And if we roll through here, plenty of rain throughout Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin, Michigan, Iowa, Minnesota. Parts of the deep south are drenched, along with the Carolina coast and Georgia, Florida. Plenty of moisture falling right now. Put this into motion for tomorrow, Tuesday, August 6th. And the atmosphere reloads and puts more rain into Ohio, Indiana, Arkansas, Louisiana, all the way down to Texas and Houston area. Rain will intensify overnight into Wednesday and possibly be severe across areas of Ohio, Indiana, Pennsylvania, Kentucky, and Tennessee. Meanwhile, back in Nebraska and Kansas, another chance of some heavy rain and flooding possible with this next system here by midweek this week. The Northeast, you're in for a soaker from Tuesday night into Wednesday and severe weather possibly into Thursday. The East Coast especially, New York City could have some severe weather, believe it or not, folks. Philly also in a watch as well. More rain for Wisconsin and Iowa as well on Thursday. And a low pressure system stalled out over the Rockies here and into Kansas. Very light moisture as it begins to move towards the east on Thursday, picking up some steam. While this system is still trying to make its way out into the Atlantic, by Thursday, some rain showers for upstate New York and most of New England and Maine as well. Meanwhile, regular chances for showers throughout Nebraska and Kansas, Iowa, Illinois, and Indiana. Again, indicating no lack of moisture here. As we get to Friday, the atmosphere reloads again. New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Arkansas, Missouri, all again getting more rainfall. Parts of Colorado and Nebraska also seeing showers again, just about 24 hours apart. Things get a little hairy here on Friday for Colorado, Nebraska, and Kansas. Some severe weather is possible from this. This could be damaging wind, damaging hail, and this is not a good time for places like Kansas, and you can see where the reds and the yellows are. This is intense farmland out here, folks. So another area to watch, not just for flooding, but for potential crop damage. I also want to point out we did have some I had a crop damage video set up for up in North Dakota, and just another example, they had severe weather over the weekend, and this person lost their entire field, crops, corn stalks broken in half. Just insane hail. And just like Rachel and Carlton were speaking of, we're going to grow food in this conditions here in the future. We've got to have a serious discussion about where to grow. And she's right. Indoor vertically. You know, we can go out and build these greenhouses for crop fields. What are we going to do every time hail busts up these panels? There's just so many questions. And it just, to me, it feels natural to say indoor growing vertically is going to have to be the solutions here. Building these facilities out where these areas usually grow crops from their field. All right, so this is just Friday. We're talking about 2 or 3 different rain systems moving through the Midwest into the Northeast. Here we are on Friday, reloading once again. More rain for Missouri, Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, and into the South. And right behind it, the atmosphere is reloading again for Colorado, Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota, and Kansas. As the South will get a little bit more rain, the Northeast and Ohio Valley get a break for the weekend. How about that? Some drier air moves in. Pretty dry weekend for Indiana, Illinois, Pennsylvania, and the Northeast. We could use that. But that won't last long in the Northeast as we get into Monday, some heavier showers. And of course, looking back in the Plain States, next Monday, heavy rain in South Dakota and Nebraska and Kansas and Missouri, Wisconsin. This is going to flow towards the Mississippi by Tuesday. More rain in the Northeast that just looks sloppier and sloppier. Rain chances in the South don't go away either. And then by Tuesday, that system, it seems like the atmosphere loads up again with moisture. North Dakota, South Dakota, Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, Missouri, and Minnesota. Moving eastward into Tuesday into midweek. By that time, that dry streak that we had here in the Ohio Valley from Saturday through Tuesday is now over. Showers will move into the area by Wednesday, August 14th. And look out back west, once again, northwest Kansas, Nebraska, with heavy rain moving through the region midweek. As a low pressure system, there's a storm that we were talking about a few broadcasts ago. And it's interesting to see it kind of just reappear. This was the storm that we thought was going to hang out down here and then just rake the coast and be something really nasty by the time I got to here. So interesting to see the GFS showing this massive low pressure system just off our east coast. And boy, it does get pretty nasty here. Watching it go off the coast by the 15th, moving away from the United States. And for a couple of hours, we get some dry weather. But once again, low pressure building up on the 16th. So in the next 7 to 15 days, folks, expect a rainy pattern across the Dakotas, Minnesota, Iowa, Kansas, Nebraska, Missouri, and Arkansas. Those are going to be the main areas we're going to see the most moisture. Now, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, you're in for your share too, as well as the South and Southeast and the Northeast. And look at this nasty little Lando cane here on Saturday, August 17th. And look back here, guys, the Alberta, BC area, snow showers for August 17th. and pretty intense looking, if you ask me. In fact, the GFS is indicating now, as this Landocane moves through the Midwest into the Great Lakes and off into the northeast of the United States, this GFS forecast is suggesting that this snowfall could reach Montana, the very northern part of Montana. August 18th, snow showers being predicted by the GFS radar. No lie, folks. That's pretty early. Check this out. I get it. It's the northern part of the United States, but it's still, this is the dog days of summer, folks. We're getting a snow shower event for over 24 hours, too. Now, none of this is going to stick. I get that. Another storm in the Atlantic showing its ugly head. Again, this is way far out. Today is only the 5th. This is 10 days out. That snow hangs around in Montana, by the way, as we move this forward. Something is stalling that system to stay where it is at this point. And it's interesting to see that this storm that is showing up on the East Coast, kind of just hanging out, kind of reminds me of Florence a little bit. So North Carolina and South Carolina, Virginia, we have to be on the lookout for this. Now, this is still quite a few days out. But so in review, we have multiple rain chances across the Midwest, the Northern Plains, the Ohio Valley, and the South. The Northeast will get splashed a few times as well. All right. Nothing in the tropics yet showing us that we have any concerns, but plenty of moisture across the Midwest, across the Farm Belt, period. All right. Over and over, this reloads and dumps tons of moisture. Here's where things get interesting. On the 17th, rain and snow in Canada coming down to Montana, lasting for at least 24 to 48 hours. And as we look at this storm just hovering right outside the east coast of the United States, more snow and showers are moving into Montana in the same region over the course of 3 days from August 17th to the 20th of August. And I hate to say this, but at this point right here, and not only are we watching this low pressure system here, but GFS is also indicating a very weak system right here in the Gulf. Now, this is almost peak season, folks, for hurricanes. So 2 storms that we're going to watch, and watch where this second storm develops. It's off the tail end of this current system out here. Watch this. So we've got a possibility, and I forget what this is called, where 2 storms hit the United States at the same time. Watch out. Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, New Jersey, New York City, Virginia, and North Carolina. And then we have to watch for this possible system here, Houston, Texas, and the Gulf of Mexico. Watch out. So some big things to keep our eyes on as we continue through the month of August. And really, I know I've probably forgotten a whole bunch of weather headlines right now that's coming up, but that's just the precipitation part of this. I'm dying to get to the temperatures right now. So here we are, temperatures, high temperatures. Ooh, overnight lows. These are cool, refreshing September nights, right? Nope, this is August 6th. There's summer in the South. As far as Ohio, 83 in Cincinnati, not that big of a deal for the dog days of summer. Mid-70s across Toledo, Cleveland, Strongsville. Erie, Pennsylvania in the upper 60s, lower 70s. Pittsburgh around 79 degrees. Not that, I mean, that's nice weather. Actually, that's gorgeous weather if you ask me. Overnight lows, not too bad. 60s and 50s. Daytime highs for August 7th. Ooh, they drop a little bit. Pittsburgh, you're about 79. That's still the same. The Northeast, we see a lot more 60s and 70s across the region. Again, the heat is staying in the South. Literally, like North Carolina, Virginia, South Carolina, Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. That area, almost like, the weather gods are a coloring book and they have to stay in the lines. Exactly. Tennessee is not in that extreme heat. And I will say this, I've lived in this region right here, guys. To be 83 degrees for a high temperature on August 7th with low humidity, I would tell you you're lying to me if that was the case. As we move further into August, Temperatures begin to dip across the northern plains into the Midwest. A fall-like pattern, if you ask me. All the heat staying to the south and in the southwest. Daytime highs for Friday, August 9th. Check this out, guys. 72 in Cleveland. 75 in the capital region of New York. 69 degrees in Pittsburgh. Des Moines, Iowa, lower 70s. Nebraska, lower 70s. Norton, Kansas, 75. Michigan, Detroit, 69 degrees. Parts of Wisconsin also experiencing the high 60s for daytime highs on August 9th. Let's go a little bit further in. Here's daytime highs for the 10th. Gorgeous. Actually, this was the weekend here in Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Pennsylvania, and New York, Michigan. This is going to be a gorgeous weekend for you guys. Look at the daytime highs in the low 70s. No rain, sun. All right. Daytime highs on Sunday. Again, no rain. A little bit warmer, but still, I'll take mid-70s and 60s all day for August 11th. That heat is trying to evade the Ohio Valley and the northern plains and the Midwest as well. But that Canadian cool air is fighting it very hard, and folks, it's winning. Here we are, middle of August, still the same scenario for the Midwest. I mean, guys, we're experiencing way cooler temperatures for this time of year. Even back here in Nebraska and Kansas, it's still in the 90s at this point of the year. It's supposed to be anyway. Daytime highs really getting hot down there in the south. I guess that's where if you want hot weather, go down south. Because you're not going to see it normal here in the Midwest, the Northeast, the Northern Plains. You're talking 60s and 70s and low 80s in the middle of our country. And then we get into around the 16th and 17th. So let me tell you something about that second system that could be forming in the Gulf. The waters, I would say I have more confidence in that storm developing in the Gulf than I do in the Atlantic. Just because of the temperatures that we're seeing down there in the south versus what we're seeing on the east coast. And you can actually see this storm in the temperatures. It's swirling, so you can tell where the storm is, and it's bringing cooler temperatures in the east. Not so much in the south, though. And here's where that snow is, guys. Right about here. That's why we're seeing the snow. We got some 30s in here. August 18th, yeah. Daytime highs, 70s, 60s, Midwest. Middle of August. And still, the south, the same area is keeping that heat. And the same area is keeping this gorgeous. So, basically, the Ohio Valley into the Northeast, this is going to be a gorgeous month. For folks out in the Northwest, starting on the 19th of August, it's fall. 60 for a high, 40s in the lows. A little bit of Indian summer for Ohio on August 20th in the 80s. Wow, a little bit of a comeback. Summer is trying to make anyway. So, interesting forecasting that we're looking at here on the GFS. Now, I have to look. I'm curious now. Precipitation, moisture. We started looking at this feature. Here's your two storms. This is the 18Z. I'm going to show you the 0Z, which is the worst case scenario. Let's see if that forecast model has a different outcome. Just to look for old time's sakes. That's all. Just having a look-see here. And of course, the 0 model does not show either of those storms at all. Believe it or not, very interesting that they're not even appearing. Usually it's the other way around. So we'll just have to keep our eyes on the situation and continue to monitor the weather. But the next 3 weeks of August is going to be wet. We're going to have weird temperatures, and we're going to have snow by the middle of August in Montana. Okay. Yeah, it's normal, I guess, right? All right, Mario, would you like to come over here and say hello to everybody who is stuck with this hour and 10-minute broadcast?
Is that how long it's been?
It's been a minute.
Oh, dear, Jake. I don't want to sit on your phone here.
All right. Thank you very much.
I'm going to sit down with you for a minute, Jake. How you doing?
Hey.
Maybe I sound better this close to the mic. I don't. Well, you guys in the chat are wonderful, as always. I want to give a shout out to our super chatters, Daniel and Susan. Thank you very much. We're very humbled by that. You guys are wonderful in the chat. Let's see what we got. Marie, in her corner of Iowa, are seeing the leaves falling. We have been discussing here in New York, I've been seeing a lot of leaves starting to turn yellow. We have been getting reports all over that the leaves are turning earlier than normal. Sam, he's a newer subscriber to the chat. He put, I don't think most people realize that farmers and livestock producers are the only thing keeping most people from being hungry right now. If we can't continue, how will they survive? How would you like that weighing on your shoulders as a farmer? They see firsthand the implications that we're going through.
That's right.
And there's a lot of, to me, it seems there's a lot of mixed signals and a lot of mixed messages all over about what's going with our food supply. USDA has not helped with their reports being very modest, I guess, to put it mildly. I call it total BS, most of it, because we deal with a lot of farmers and see what is being reported all over our country and other countries, and to me it's very worrying. Recently, Patrick Moore retweeted that the earth is greening and that our farms are doing better than ever. Well, maybe over the past 200 years, there's been a great, brilliant increase, but I'm sorry, our food supply right now is, we're heading into a downfall. And right now, looking at some of these pictures that people are sending and tagging me on Twitter, one gentleman tagged me on a post on Twitter with corn. It was in Iowa, and it didn't look like it was more than 3 feet high. It's sort of alarming. It's not sorta. It is very alarming.
It's definitely not beautiful.
It's not beautiful, and it's very worrying considering we're getting reports from professional forecasters that we're going to have an early frost, and even if the frost was on time, we would not have the crop production that we are hoping for. It's not good. So, hate to be Debbie Downer, but anyway, you know me, Jake.
Oh, yeah.
Say it with a smile. No. Someone posted a joke. Let me see. Jeff Borders. Canada gets all 4 seasons. Winter road construction, and winter road construction almost over. And then more winter. I think that's how it went, if I recall correctly. Are you in the chat chatting with people, Jake?
Just saying hello.
Oh, all right. Well, Paula's Natural had hail destroy her veggie crops last year, and we were sharing that hail picture from Carlton. I'd like to give him a shout out and thank him for posting that. Now, I'm going to be intrusive and head on over to our website, Jake, because what I'd like to do is I'd like to go to our homepage. Let me just get over here real quick. I know, this is a surprise I didn't tell you about. This is because I didn't tell Jake before the show. I wanted him to show everyone. If you click on home, we have a live show schedule. If you've noticed, we tried the Sunday, Thursday, Tuesday, Thursday, trial and error. It was mostly error. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays work out way better for us. Today was a late start, but next Monday and the Monday after that, we are planning some early shows. So the neat thing about our event schedule on our website now, the way I have it set up, is if you have a calendar, you can add it and set your own alarm. We have gotten a lot of reports that this show didn't get notifications sent out, which doesn't surprise me. So we are trying to come up with ways for people to stay notified. Also, in the corner of our website, I don't think our broadcast software set up. There's a little red bell. You can hit that. And when we publish our article for the night show, that will also send out a little push notification. And the last thing I would like to show on our website, not to be a hog and up to, too much time on the show, Jake, you want to be over with. So I'm just joking, Jake. Come on. All right. So prepping for the grand solar minimum right here on our site. We have a couple articles. I've just tried to categorize the site a little bit better to be more functional. I'm reworking everything, and that is the main big change right now. Prepping for grand solar minimum. There's tips for growing in cold weather and how to save food with Mylar articles. We'll be adding more.
Folks, I can't brag enough about Mari and her hard work on this website, the constant work she's doing to make things a little more easier. It's a busy website, but it's like we spoke with Jeff yesterday and how we talked about there is no 2-minute, 3-minute conversation about grand solar minimum or anything that's involved with climate change. It just doesn't exist. And so Mari is tweaking probably every week. She goes to this website and she tries to tweak it to where it's easier for people to find the information that they're looking for. That's an awesome chart there. That's new. The motion chart of the sunspots from the Maunder minimum through the Dalton minimum and into current where we are right now. But guys, none of this would be possible if it wasn't for Mari and her hard work and dedication. Again, I applaud you for continuing to tweak this website to where I think eventually, and it's becoming this now, and I'm not being biased, but I really feel like this website should be in everybody's bookmarks for GSM education. I'm not saying we're the only website. I'm saying we are one of the websites that should be in everybody's bookmarks when it comes to the education of grand solar minimum. And again, I can't thank you more, Mari, for this awesome website that you've built. And there is so much information to go over here. I'm getting a headache.
I know. I'm giving everyone...
I can't read that fast.
This is just all the information.
Oh, no.
I'm actually working on dissecting.
Probably my favorite picture, by the way. Go back to that. This is probably... And Mari's included lots of old artwork like this, too, with our website. But this is one of my favorite pictures, guys. And you have to pay attention to these artworks. Look at the cloud structures. Of course, it's cold. There's snow everywhere. People are ice skating, blah, blah, blah. But we see those dark, low-level clouds nowadays, don't we? So just great observations here. Good stuff. Mari, again, thank you so much for putting all the work that you do in this website.
Well, it's a lot of it's compiling data that's relevant, but it's scattered all over the internet. I'm trying to consolidate all this important data and just have one central spot for it. So as you see here in the Maunder minimum section, I'm citing all these sources of weather accounts of weather.
Thank you, Space Weather Monkey, by the way, for your super chat.
From the Maunder minimum. I'm trying to go back. It's just time consuming, a lot of work, but it's fascinating to dig through and sift through the data. And my goal right now is just to consolidate the data and give you a central place to find it all.
And I wanted to note too, F Team says, yes, we do see those clouds. You even see those clouds on a sunny day. The dark, low-lying, heavy clouds. It doesn't even have to have rain in the forecast. Just we see these clouds all the time, it seems like nowadays. So, Mari, do you have anything else before we hit the
afraid to say anymore. You talk so much, Jake.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight, guys. Thank you for tuning in once again to the Grand Solar Minimum channel. We'll be back again on Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Until then, we will talk soon.